All right. Hey, what's going on, everyone? What's going on? Got a victory Sunday here. Good win against Carolina. Um, really exciting game. Most exciting game of the Bears season so far. Moving up to 3-2, something that is always good. You know, Carolina is teams that is, we look at them and we kind of expect that to be a victory, right? And like I always say, a good measure kind of where your team is at is how you play against what you expect to be like you expect them to be a bad team, right? So how do you look against what you expect to be a bad team? And 26-point victory is a pretty good look for the Bears. Um, this is it's really kind of like the offense that we expected to see from the start of the season, off season, right? And it took a bit to get here. Right, this is week 5, and it took a bit to get here. And I think it's always important to kind of look back at things and ask why. Like, why did it take this long to get here? Why is it starting to click now? And I think that there's a couple different reasons. I think one, of course, there's always going to be the new offense, right? We have a new offensive coordinator. We have a new quarterback who's a rookie. We have obviously 2 new receivers in Rome and Keenan. New running back. Got a couple new pieces on the offensive line. New center, new right guard, Matt Pryor. And then obviously Tevin Jenkins has been in and out of the lineup this year with some injuries, right? So sometimes up to 3 new pieces on the line. And so things looked a little bit shaky, right? And I think that there's that excuse, or not necessarily an excuse, but reasoning, right? Then I think that there's the reasoning of the kind of like the reduced season and the reduced preseason action. And this was something that was mentioned in the group chat with my friends where we're always talking football. And I think that sometimes, now with this kind of reduced preseason, it's only 3 games, the starters don't really play a ton. These guys don't really get a ton of action. And then the first couple weeks are really like the preseason, right? Full on contact, actual football. And, you're seeing real looks and things like that. And so, what I said at the start of this season, what would be a successful season for the Bears? And obviously, we want them to make the playoffs. We want them to win the Super Bowl and all that, right? But I said at the start of the season that I wanted the Bears to develop Caleb Williams correctly, because throughout my lifetime, I'm 24, I have seen them fail time and time again when it comes to developing quarterbacks. And the media was loud this week. They've been loud really all season with the whole Caleb versus Jane Daniels thing. I think the media is kind of trying to recreate this Bryce Young, CJ Stroud scenario from last year, right? And when we look at Jaden Daniels, he's running a very, dumbed down college level offense. And that's not, a shot at him. That's not a shot at, his coaching staff or whatever. That's what works, right? That's what works, and that's what's working for them, and that's how they feel they want to help him, right? And he's performing well. He's doing well, and they're 4-1, right? And so no one's going to complain about them being 4-1. And with that being said, Caleb was given the full offense. He was given full control of the offense, change the play if you want, make adjustments, slide the protections, so on and so forth. And we see that. We've seen that all year long. And with that being said, it takes time for him to learn how to do that, how to see these things. But I felt like today was the first day where it seemed like he was extremely calm. It seemed like the game had slowed down for him. It seemed like he was in complete control the entire game. Not a single concern, sliding the protection, changing some of the plays, right? We heard the hot mic of the communication between him and the offensive line. Like, this is real big time elite level stuff. And we saw that in how efficient they were. They scored a lot of points. They scored in the first quarter, which they hadn't done this year. They hadn't scored a touchdown in the first quarter this year. They did that. They scored 20 points in the second quarter. And then they slowed down a little bit in the second half, but a lot of it was due to penalties. Penalties kind of derailing the drive, right? Clipping penalty, calling back the touchdown that Caleb ran in, and so on and so forth. But this is the offense that we expected to see. And now we know who the defense is. We've known this since last year, right? Halfway through the season last year. This is a top 5 unit, the way that they kind of just dominate. Just how elite the second level is. The concerns going into the season in the first couple of weeks were about the front four. But it seems like Javon Dexter's kind of coming into his own, and we might have a monster up front. I mean, he leads the entire league in interior pressures and sacks. So that's huge for a second-year player. So it's like this team is finally kind of getting out of their own way. And good teams don't just beat bad teams. Good teams beat bad teams by a lot of points. And a 36-10 victory over a bad team, to me, signifies that the Bears are a good team. Question is, can the Bears continue this moving forward, right? The question will be, can they continue this offense going forward? Because it seems to have clicked, right? We saw it in week 3 against Indy. The passing game exploded. And then we saw it last week against the Rams. The running game exploded. And then this week was the full package. We got all of it. Caleb Williams, 304 passing yards, went 20 of 29, 2 touchdowns, 0 picks, 126 rating on the season. That's his best. DeAndre Swift, 21 carries, 73 yards, touchdown, long 18 yards. I like that. I like feeding him the ball. Roschon Johnson, 10 yards, 25 carries. A lot of his was kind of dirty work runs, the gut, short yardage situations, goal line. I like that. 2 touchdowns for him. And then Caleb had 34 on the ground. And then you see the passing offense, right? And I'm really happy for DJ Moore. I'm really excited. I'm glad that he got to have a really fantastic game against his former team. Komet got involved. A couple big catches, had 57 yards. DeAndre Swift, 2 catches, 47 yards, broke another huge screen. This is what we've expected with all these weapons, right? Rome Odunze had 5 catches for 40 yards on 6 targets. But when you watch this, it's more than just the stats. It's the eye test. It's the seeing him read the defense, seeing the offense go hurry up so they can get up to the line with 25 seconds left on the play clock and figure it out. This is real time, real big time shit. And it's some of the best quarterbacking, if not the best, that I've seen in my 24 years of life and being a Bears fan. This is big time stuff. And people always try and discount, oh, it's the Panthers. You can only play who's on the schedule. And this is the same Carolina team that everyone was hyping up 2 weeks ago after they beat Cincinnati when Andy Dalton came in. So it can't go both ways. Either they're an NFL team and they're not as bad as we thought, or they are terrible. Can't go both ways. This was a good win. It was a great win. It is great for a rookie quarterback to build confidence. A team to build confidence. And the Bears continue their winning streak at home. 3-0 season, 8 straight wins at home. That is big time stuff. And they have a chance to go into London next week and take on the now 1-win Jacksonville Jaguars and go to 4-2 into the bye. And then if they do that, they are 3 wins from where they were finishing the season last year. The team is good.
They just need to keep it up. This is an elite level defense. Saw some stats. Let's see if I can find it real quick. They threw it up on the broadcast. Bears have allowed 21 or fewer points in 10 straight games. It's the longest active streak in the NFL. This is a top 5 defense. And if the offense can continue doing what they're doing today, this team can do anything. They can beat anyone. The Bears have an elite quarterback for the first time in my life. And I'm not afraid to admit that after 5 games. I think anyone that actively watches football can see that. And they can see the growth that Caleb Williams is having game to game. Week 1, 48% completion percentage. Week 2, 62% completion percentage. Week 3, 63. Week 4, 74. Week 5, 69. The rating, 55.7, 51, 80.8, 106.6, 126.2. Every single week there's improvement. And it's so exciting to see. And so the sky's the limit with this team. They have more soft games coming up, right? It's Jacksonville, and then it's a bye. And it's Jaden Daniels in Washington, which I'm telling you guys right now, Jaden Daniels is going to have a rude awakening against our defense. And then it's Arizona, and it's New England. So by the time Green Bay pulls up to town, November 17th, week 11, the Bears could be 7-2. Just a thought. Just a thought. But there is a lot to be excited for if you're a Bears fan. Enjoy this win. Great win. Best win of the year. And we'll look forward to next week. Appreciate you guys tuning in as always. Bear down. And I will see you in tomorrow's video breaking down the game. Have a good one.